The journey through every winner of the Booker Prize for Fiction continues. We have now arrived at Troubles by J.G. Farrell, and we of course have to talk about it being the winner of the Lost Man Booker Prize. If you're unfamiliar with what the Lost Man Booker Prize was, essentially in 1970 no prize was given because of a rule change. So previously the Booker Prize would be given to a work of fiction that was written the year before that year's award. And then they changed it so that now it is what it is today, where if the award was for 2023, it would only be books from that year, not the year before. Okay, so that's essentially why books that were written in 1970 were completely snubbed. There was no shortlist, no winner. And so years later in 2010, they decided to put in some extra funding for that. There was a shortlist of 22 books, reduced to 6 finalists, and a public vote decided the winner. J.G. Farrell's Troubles won with 38% of the vote, a much bigger chunk than any of the other shortlisters, which was surprising because one of the top 6 was a Muriel Spark book, and Muriel Spark has a lot of very passionate fans. And also Patrick White's The Vivisector was a fan favourite, but I think part of the problem there was that it was well documented how much he hated the Booker Prize. So they sort of, they knew he would be turning in his grave if he did win it. And so it ended up with J.G. Farrell Troubles. The reason that I say that is because he also wasn't a big fan of the Booker Prize. When he won for The Siege of Krishnapur in 1973, he gave a speech condemning what he described as exploitation, very similar to when we talked about John Berger's acceptance speech. And so even though J.G. Farrell had, at this point, been dead for 30 years, he died in a fishing accident where he drowned, he, probably wouldn't have wanted to have won twice for this book, even though his brother revealed that this was, he thought this was his best book. And it is very good. It's the first in his Empire trilogy, where each one sort of charts a major historical point with a biting wit to it. Brendan Archer, he goes to this hotel in Ireland after World War One following, and then we have all of the events of the Troubles. It's very clever. I would recommend it. It's not something that I personally would enjoy, but I can see, the brilliance of his wit.